92.5 The Bear, it's The Garage, every Sunday night, 6 to 7 p.m. Chris hanging out with you, as well as Craig.
Hey.
And we got a great show lined up for you guys. We're rounding out our top 2 picks here. Craig, what's your number 2 pick?
My number 2 pick, I picked a track called She Found You by a band called Samiam.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Love Samiam.
You know, it's funny, when we decided to do 90s, I had to just go with a lot of personal favorites, man. I mean, you know, the whole...
Well, that's the idea. It's for everybody just tuning in, it's the 90s, top 5 for us, most influential of the decade for us, the way we look back on the 90s and the tracks that stand out and speak to us, right?
Yeah, definitely. So this was a track from their 1997 record, You Are Freaking Me Out, one of only 2 major label records that they did in the mid-90s. I did a little research and found out that this song actually got a lot of airplay in 1998.
Yeah.
Which was news to me. I never heard it on the radio in 1998, but...
maybe in the Bay Area.
Yeah, but I mean, I remember seeing these guys in Berkeley and San Francisco several times.
Oh, yeah.
And just always a great band, always put on a good show, and just really honest, kick-ass songwriting. I mean, just awesome stuff.
Yeah.
So this is Samiam with She Found You on The Garage.
What the hell have you got to look forward to? I don't hear anybody knocking at your door. Your life has been a message in a bottle, dumped in the ocean, never reaching any shore. At the point where nothing makes you happy, these days seem darker than they ever been before. Here it comes again, that old familiar feeling. Just get sick and
was Samiam with She Found You here on The Garage, 92.5 The Bear. We're here every Sunday from 6 to 7. This is Craig inside the studios with Chris.
Hey, what's up, guys?
And we are at Chris's number 2 selection. What'd you pick here, Chris?
All right, number 2. It was almost number 1, but I decided on another track for number 1. Number 2 for me was Green Day, Disappearing Boy, off their 1991 album, 1039 Smoothed Out Slappy Hours, which was a compilation of some stuff they did in the 80s.
7 inches comp tracks.
Yeah. So some really cool stuff on that record. It was my first actual record. I remember the first actual CD that I got ever. My parents bought it for me for Christmas one year. I think it was like 93.
That's awesome.
And they bought me a guitar, too, from when it was Barker's down there.
A guitar and a Green Day CD, man.
Yeah.
Your parents love you. That's
a guitar
awesome.
and an amp. It was like the guitar amp combo, you know, for like $150 or whatever it was.
That's great.
And so I just, that's what kicked it off for me. I just started learning how to play guitar to that album. And that's also what kind of opened my mind to a lot of underground music at the time. We didn't have internet back then.
Yeah.
I don't think it started happening till like 94, 95 for us personally. And so it was really tough to like find out information about bands that weren't on MTV or mainstream bands.
You had to go to music stores. You had to buy fanzines.
Well, what I did,
letters,
what I did was I went to Lookout Records and I mailed to request one of their catalogs.
Yeah.
And I got one of their catalogs in the mail, which opened up all the stuff to like Operation Ivy, Mr. T Experience, Screeching Weasel.
Oh man, the days of
Crimp Shrine, all that
days
stuff.
of mail ordering records, man.
And I remember getting that mail order catalog and just fantasizing about everything. I wanted all the T-shirts, all the CDs, all the posters. It was just like this whole new world,
Yeah,
so
definitely.
that's why this album and this track is influential to me. When I look back, this album just opened my mind to the whole underground music scene. And
not to mention, kind of put East Bay punk rock on the map.
Oh, exactly.
I mean, it's funny that you chose them. I just chose Samiam. My number 1 pick. I won't spoil it, but I mean, let's just say
a lot of Bay Area bands.
Yeah, let's just say I think we hit the trifecta here, man.
Yeah,
this is gonna be a good show.
Yeah, so definitely East Bay legends, and basically almost put Lookout Records out of business because they weren't paying their royalties on their hugely successful albums. Eventually, had to reissue them through Reprise and all that nonsense. So here it is, Green Day, Disappearing Boy, my number 2 pick here on 92.5 The Bear. It's The Garage.
Now you see me, now you don't ask me where I'm at, 'cause I'm a million miles away. Treated like a forbidden hill. Don't say my thoughts are not for real, or you won't see me again. Am I here, am I there? Or am I playing on night stairs? Am I in my room with my toys? I am the disappearing boy. When I walk in crowded rooms, I feel as if it is my doom. I know that I don't belong. In that room I see her and she's with him. I turn around and then I'm gone. Don't call me up 'cause I'm not home. My whereabouts and now I'm done. I vanished in my joy. I am the disappearing boy. I have my doubts where I belong. It's something to think about. Don't call me up 'cause I'm not home. My whereabouts
92.5 The Bear. That was some Green Day right there off their very first album. That was Disappearing Boy. It's The Garage every Sunday night, 6 to 7 p.m. Chris inside the studios with Craig.
Hey, hey.
And we are counting down our top 5 most influential tracks of the 90s for us. And I believe we were at your number 1 spot, Craig.
My number 1 spot. Okay, well, let's see. Yeah, we did Samiam. We covered Samiam and Green Day pretty much back to back. My number 1 track is called Sluttering May 4th by a band called Jawbreaker.
Oh, yeah. And
you know,
I was going to pick Jawbreaker as well, and we kind of had our little pre-meeting, and I didn't want to have 2 Jawbreaker tracks this time, but I'll let you have this one.
All right, well, thanks, Chris. Dude, just one of my all-time favorite bands of all time, hands down. I've got 2 Jawbreaker tattoos on my person. This is a track off of their major label debut, actually. This was the one and only record that they would ever put out on a major label.
Right.
It didn't take them much longer than a year, and then they were broken up after Dear You came out, unfortunately. But it was produced by Rob Cavallo, who had actually produced Green Day's Dookie the year prior.
Yep.
And so that was kind of the thing. They were trying to mold them. You know, Jawbreaker was being groomed to be the next big thing.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then when the record sales weren't as big as Nirvana and Green Day, you know, they eventually just kind of self-destructed and unfortunately broke up.
Yeah.
You know, nowadays they're kind of getting some respect in a way that they maybe never did back then. So it's kind of cool. But yeah, they're never going to get back together. They're never going to tour again.
Yeah.
You know, if you missed it, you missed it, man. And I'm very fortunate. I saw Jawbreaker 4 times back in the day.
Yeah.
And it was always a great show. A lot of the old school punk fans kind of turned their back on them a little bit.
After Jester Brazil.
Yeah, well, I mean, after this record in particular, man, there was a whole big thing with Ben Weasel, like, writing a really nasty article in Maximum Rock and Roll about how they sold out and this and that.
Right, right.
You know, people got to grow and people got to eat, you know what I mean? And anyway, just one of my favorite bands of all time. The lyrics are just amazing. You know, Blake is just such a poet and storyteller, and he literally paints pictures with words, man. And so that's why they're one of my favorite bands. But this is a song about relationships gone bad. It's called Sluttering May 4th by Jawbreaker here on The Bear.
Of us, it's time to leave this place. I tore through your wrist to find a better trap that fits. I saw through your traps to find better you, a part of you that lasts. I saw through your trap and into my own wrist. Saw we went through, red ribbons spilled to blue, sight to saw your eyes. I got this dress up, hiking it around this waste of laughter. Slow dance alone with no one to the sound of 4 hands clapping. Congratulations to you both, I hope somewhere you're happy. If there's a moral to this story, then I wish you'd show me. Hair in the blood, show me.
That was Sluttering May 4th by Jawbreaker here on The Garage, 92.5 The Bear. That was my number one track. That brings us down to Chris's number one track. What'd you pick, Chris?
Great number one track, by the way, Craig.
Thank you.
Loving the Jawbreaker. And yeah, like we said, let's go ahead and count down real quick our top fives for everybody that's maybe just tuning in. Starting with your number 5 through your number 1. Go ahead and recap for us.
All right, Chris. My number 5 track was Decorate the Spine by Knapsack. My number 4 track was Savory by Jawbox. My number 3 track was Blowin' Cool by Swervedriver. My number 2 track was She Found You by Samiam, and you just heard Sluttering May 4th by Jawbreaker.
Perfect. Great list. My number 5 as well was Radiohead with The Bends. My number 4 was Primus, Welcome to This World. Number 3 for me was So What You Want from the Beastie Boys. Number 2, Green Day, Disappearing Boy. And my number 1 track for me, it was tough, man. It was really, really tough.
It always is.
But there's this one track that when I look back on the 90s, it's just forever burned in my brain. I can't ever not look back in the 90s and think of this song. From Beck, Loser, off of Mellow Gold.
Nice.
1993. Just an amazing, amazing track. A lot of funny history on this song, too. I remember reading about how when Beck was recording this, he was recording his vocals with the mixer and sound engineer, and they were playing it back for him, and he was saying, man, I'm just like the worst rapper in the world. I'm just a loser, you know? He didn't have a working title for the track, and that's where he ended up picking out the title of the track, and he started singing it in the studio. I'm just a loser, so why don't you kill me? And that became the chorus of the track. And he had this kind of just approach to, it was like this anti-folk movement where he was like playing folk-style songs with just like ridiculous lyrics, you know, like Satan gave me a taco and a lot of stuff. But I mean, his lyrics were just he said that he would be playing at small coffee shops and things like that. Nobody was listening, and he'd just start saying weird stuff to see if they were see if they were listening, if they were paying attention, you know. And that's kind of his quirky style. Always been a fan of Beck, and this video, very cool video as well. Kind of reminds me of the So What You Want Beastie Boys video in terms of their influence from a lot of like the 1920s surrealist movies, a lot of the still shot stuff, like that thing with the coffin moving along. He got that influence from there. It was actually filmed in Humboldt, California, on a $300 budget.
Drive-by body pierce.
Yeah. And it was great stuff, man.
Yeah, man. Mellow Gold is just a classic front to back.
Yeah, I really wanted to pick like maybe something off of that album that's maybe a little different, but I just couldn't ignore Loser, and it's just the seminal track off of that album.
Definitely.
And totally representative of the 90s to me.
Absolutely. We get crazy with the cheese whiz here on the Bear.
Shave your face with some Ace in the Dark. It's Beck, Loser on the Bear.
Sleep on the love seat. Someone came saying I'm insane to complain about a shotgun wedding and a stain on my shirt. Don't believe everything that you breathe. You get a parking violation and a maggot on your sleeve. So shave your face with some mace in the dark. Saving all your food stamps and burn it out together in a bag with the rerun shows and the cocaine nose job. The daytime crap of the folk singer's love. He hung himself with a guitar string, a slab of turkey neck, and it's hanging from a pigeon wing. But get right if you can't relate. Trade the cash for the beat, for the body, for the hate. And my time is a piece of wax falling on a termite who's choking on the splinters. So
Beck with Loser on 92.5 The Bear. It's The Garage. And rounding out our top 5 picks for the 90s most influential tracks, it's Chris inside the studio with Craig.
How's it going?
And we are finishing up our show. Another great show, Craig.
Definitely, man.
It
Nice
was one
choices.
of our fun ones.
Yeah, nice. Well, they were all fun.
They're all fun,
but this one was especially fun.
Yeah, I think the 90s just a kind of a special place.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
And
nice choices, man. I had no idea what you were gonna pick. So,
yeah, me either. And we just got together right before we did this, and kind of like, oh wow, that's cool. So I like the balance of it and everything. It was really good.
Yeah, it's kind of like a really good mixtape made with love and good taste.
That's right.
That's what I've been telling my homies. So
exactly.
Hopefully people are tuning in and checking it out.
And if you guys can't tune in, make sure you guys check it out on the Bears official YouTube page. I know some of you guys aren't able to catch this show every night. You got stuff to do. You got a job. Totally understandable. Craig, where can they find these YouTube videos?
On the Bears official YouTube channel.
And that's linked up through our website at 925thebear.com. You just scroll down there, click on the Bears YouTube channel. You got it right there. Also, we got an official Facebook page, right?
Yeah, that's right. Check back. Keep checking back on our official Facebook page, facebook.com, The Garage 925, all one word. Add us to your friends and check back for regular updates.
Yep, we're going to be updating it all the time and posting those YouTube videos on Facebook as well for easy access. So make sure you guys check that out. It's The Garage every Sunday night, 6 to 7 p.m. It's Chris.
And Craig.
Have a good night, guys. Peace.
Later.